4 days in Marrakech, Morocco, the vlog. We started off the trip with a hearty breakfast in Gatwick Airport, and our flight was around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, landing in Morocco around 4:30, 5 p.m. It was quite cloudy when we arrived, but still nice and warm, thankfully. Our accommodation provided direct transport from the airport to the Riad we were staying in, which was Riad Shemsi in the old town of Marrakech. This is the inside of the Riad, simply stunning, and a complete oasis to come into just off the bustling streets of the city outside. We were welcomed by our host, who was on hand morning, noon and night with traditional Moroccan tea and biscuits. But how stunning is the Riad? This is a little tour of the room we were staying in, which was on the ground floor but had everything we needed: a good bed, wardrobe space and a safe, and then the ensuite with walk-in shower and some Moroccan soaps and shampoos. We left the Riad in search of a snack, as we had a late reservation at Comptoir Darna at 11 p.m, and we came to Kasbah Cafe, which had been highly recommended and was a 5-minute walk away from our Riad. It was Ramadan while we were visiting Marrakech, which meant a lot of the people were fasting from sunrise to sunset, and then at sunset this was when the workers were able to eat and have their dinner. So we had some drinks and watched the sun go down, and people watched by the Medina from the gorgeous rooftop of Kasbah Cafe. We had some olives and bread to start. The bread in Marrakech is unbelievable. We had some burrettes, and then I had a small poke bowl, and himself had some meat skewers. After the late snack, we walked to the main square, Jemaa el-Fnaa, which was very lively, with people coming at you from all directions, asking you to try their food, look at their menu, look at their stall. It can be very overwhelming the first time, and I was a bit shocked at how much everyone did come up to us, and they stood in front of us to get our attention. But after this first initiation, I got used to it very, very quickly. After having some drinks at the restaurant on the square, we headed out to Comptoir Darna in the newer side of the city, and this was a highly recommended restaurant that was more on the expensive side and usually had performances of dancers while you ate. But since it was Ramadan, there was no performance during our meal, unfortunately. However, I would definitely recommend, as the food was incredible, but make sure to book when there is a performance on at the same time. It was our first morning in Marrakech, and we had a bit of a lie-in and had breakfast at our Riad, and the spread was amazing. We had breads, crepes, toast, fruit, yogurt, juice, Moroccan tea, coffee, the works in this gorgeous setting. We were the last ones to be up, but I mean, look at this food, the spread, insane. Well looked after. Then we headed out into Marrakech for a full day of wandering the city. In the food markets, expect to see a lot of live animals. You will see live chickens and people buying them, being slaughtered and prepared for eating. Just a word of warning. ventured into the souks for some browsing, and it was crazy. We got lost so many times and couldn't find our way out. They are huge, so do make sure you know where you're heading and how to get outside after, because it is a minefield. So many different paths and alleyways and places just leading on to more souks and more shops and more markets. So very confusing place, but amazing to see. So after so much hustle and bustle, we wanted some calmness, so headed out to the famous Mamounia hotel. You'll recognise this if you've watched Inventing Anna on Netflix. It costs a few £1,000s to stay here for one night, but it is stunning, so I can see why. But it is absolutely beautiful, and the grounds you can explore. You're not meant to take many photographs, but we managed to sneak a few. But really, really good to see. The modern side of Marrakech has your usual designer stores and places like Nobu, etc. So we stopped for panini and chips, which was not something they served at La Mamounia, but we were hungry and were able to people watch sitting here. Then it was back to the hecticness of the city, and as you can see here, there is a monkey. So there were so many, and the owners would want you to take photographs with them. It didn't look like the monkeys were very well treated, which is really, really sad to say, but just be warned, there are a lot of monkeys around. We then found a rooftop bar down a side street that had a great happy hour, so we stocked up on Aperol spritzes. Alcohol is quite hard to come by in Marrakech as it's a Muslim city, so you will need to research places that serve it before you go. We had some great Moroccan food here too, and we even had some dance performances. I'm not sure how the ceiling didn't go on fire with open flames, but himself definitely enjoyed the performances, and so did I. Then it was home to bed as we were up very early the next morning for a very exciting day. We were off to the Atlas Mountains on our third day, collected by our driver at 8 a.m. in a minivan with around 10 other tourists. I'll leave a link in the description below of the tour we booked because it was so brilliant and I would highly recommend. The drive was super scenic and we had a really good day for the tour and stopped off at a few points along the way for some photographs. We arrived at the Berber village that led us on our hike through the Atlas Mountains, and we met a lot of people along the way, some selling rugs, some on donkeys, just commuting up the mountain. We had a great tour guide called Potato, who seemed to know absolutely everyone in the area, but he was so funny and so good. He was amazing.
What they do, they stocking the food in summer, storing the food. They stocking everything they need in. We have concrete, look at all of the big houses you see.
The views were simply stunning, and the first part of the climb was quite steep, but we did stop a few times along the route to learn more about the area, and the tour group was full of different ages and different abilities.
No, it's the one, the high peak in North Africa. We need to talk about 2 days. We have 1 day from here to do 3,206 meters. Then we have a place for the sleeping people. It's looks like a hotel, but it's not a hotel. Then
we had to cross some rickety bridges to get to this amazing waterfall, and there was even a little stall here with drinks and fresh orange juice so you could quench your thirst if it was a really, really hot day, but really, really cool place to see. We were up among the houses in the mountains, and then this little goat popped his head out to say hello. How cute! Then we stopped for some local food on a rooftop, which had the most stunning views of the mountains and the villages around. This part wasn't included in the tour, so make sure to bring some cash and pay for lunch, but it was extremely cheap and incredibly filling and tasty, so I would definitely recommend, and it is a part of the stop on the tour. The next stop on the tour was a women's refuge where they made Moroccan beauty products. They welcomed us in and talked us through the space that they lived in and gave us bread with oils and honey, as well as some Moroccan tea. Then we went outside to see how the beauty products were made from Moroccan nut and turned into hair oil, beauty creams and more. They even had a shop inside, and we were able to smell the different products and test them on our skin. If only I had brought more than a backpack as my luggage, I would have bought so much. The next part of the tour was a camel ride to the desert, which is probably my favourite part of the whole trip, but we all donned the traditional dress and headscarf before manoeuvring the camel, getting up from a sitting position, which was an experience. Thankfully, did not fall off and embarrass myself. This was such an incredible experience and lasted around 30 minutes, I would say, and the guides were more than happy to take as many photographs and videos as you wished, and I can now say that I have ridden a camel in the Moroccan desert. Once we got back, we headed into the main square again for dinner. We stopped at l'Adresse and had some more barrettes and then some meat and couscous. One thing to know is that the portions here are huge and so filling. This was the view from the restaurant overlooking the square and market below. As usual in my vlogs, I like to take you through the beauty products I packed for the trip. I was wearing Burberry Hair Elixir, which is a new one from Burberry and perfect if you like sweet vanilla and strawberry scents. Then my everyday moisturiser, which I've been using every day now for the last few months, the Olay Complete Everyday Sunshine with SPF 15. It has some tanning quality, so your skin is always super glowy. It is my favourite. Then my everyday lipstick, Bam, all-in-one, is the Gucci Rouge Olive Brilliant Lips in shade 112 Sally Soft Honey. It is my go-to every single day. And then my nighttime moisturiser, the L'Oreal Paris Triple Active Moisturiser for dry and sensitive skin. Our final morning in Marrakech was another early one, as we had to be at Le Jardin Majorelle for 8:30 a.m. This is the outside of our room on the ground floor of the Riad, which had a lot of privacy, but I will say that you did hear some noise of the rest of the Riad, which is to be expected as it's almost like staying in someone's own house. Then we arrived at the gardens for 8:30 a.m. and it was already a little crowded inside. I think most people come here because it's almost an Instagram playground. It was gorgeous to see and to see the Yves Saint Laurent Memorial, but definitely good to come here early in the morning as the afternoons are incredibly busy and very, very hot. We had breakfast in the cafe here and they delivered a spread of food that we couldn't even finish, and I think it cost less than about £10 each. Eggs, crepes, toast, pancakes, breads, coffees, juice, yogurt and honey for dessert. There was so much food that we couldn't even finish it, but it was incredible and again so cheap, so tasty, would highly recommend. These are the crowds outside the gardens and the museum, which is next door, the YSL Museum. You do have to get tickets online for both experiences, so I would recommend booking before coming to Marrakech or you may miss out. Then we headed back to the main square again to browse the souks some more, but you can see the snakes here and the snake charmers. Crazy that they're just on the ground here, just roaming about, doing their own thing. And then we ventured into the souks to get a little bowl for my jewellery, which cost me around £2 and will make a lovely souvenir. Then we had to stop off at a few rooftop bars for some smoothies and cold diet cokes as it was 30 degrees around 12 p.m. and way too hot for my Irish self. And then it was time to head to the airport and head home. So thanks so much for watching, and look out for a dedicated vlog on the Atlas Mountains day very soon. But thank you for watching, subscribe if you're new and leave a comment if you like.